Racing, a little introduction video. Actually, introduction live stream. Now that I think about it, what you're watching is the television view of the manufacturer, or not manufacturers cup, the Nations Cup race that is going on tonight at Spa. So yeah. So what is Mez Racing? Mez Racing is pretty much a 52-year-old guy who can't afford to race in real life, so he's on Gran Turismo Simulator. Yeah. So this week they got us in Super Formula cars, which when I was doing the licenses, I hated this license because I am not good with a Super Formula car or Formula One car or pretty much any open wheel car. But for whatever reason, the Gran Turismo 7 gods have decided, hey, let's mess with Mez and make him race this. Let's see, what else? I am signed up with BMW as manufacturer. Tomorrow I will make the Manufacturers Cup race, but it's one of those that, because of my work schedule, it was one of those I signed up for it before I actually read the whole thing. Yes, I'm that guy that will actually put something together and leave the instructions in the box and then wonder why it doesn't look like the picture. Anywho, but because of my schedule being the way that it is, this week I'm actually able to make Manufacturers Cup this week. Happy pandas. Alrighty, so am I a professional esporter? No. As a matter of fact, you'll see in this video, not even close. Not even a little bit. There are a couple of times that I hurt the baby. Because, well, yeah. So, let's see what else. Race cars. I actually race a whole bunch of different cars. Yes, I am signed with BMW, but I also race Mustangs and the GT40. Which is just a ridiculous car. I love that car. But I have no regrets about signing with BMW. One nice part about Gran Turismo 7 is the fact of, as you can tell, you can come up with your own little color schemes for the cars, as well as sponsors. Okay, so on my fin, you'll see that it says Aina Coffee. That's actually a real coffee roaster in Japan. So you can actually like do your race car and all of that good stuff. Also has fictional companies that you can pick as well. One of them is Blackman Heritage, as you just saw there. So I use Gran Turismo, I use Polyphonic, I use the FIA because, well, whereas FIA has pulled their sponsorship at the moment, they're pretty much giving Gran Turismo the ability to redeem themselves, and then in which case the FIA will go through and sign back on with them as an esport competitor, governing body, whatever you want to call it. Anywho, so why am I doing this? Obviously, as you see there, that hurt the baby. I'm not a great racer, so why would I do a live stream? Well, part of it has to do with the fact of my closest grandchild is like 900 miles away from me, as well as the kids. So this is just something that I can post and the kids can go through and look at and, yeah, kind of share one of dad's, granddad's, and dad's hobbies with. I won't have like a steady streaming schedule, and yeah, pretty much guaranteed that I'll probably stream Friday nights, maybe on Thursday. Why I'm not doing like the traditional videos is mainly because I don't have the equipment to do such. As a matter of fact, I'm racing this game with a controller. I don't have a wheel. I don't have a cockpit. I don't have any of that fancy setup. What you see is an old man with a controller having a blast. Seriously. That's a good looking car. Anyway, Black men heritage. So yeah, predominantly I race the daily races. They go through and they're like, well, it's a video game, it's a simulator. Well, it is actually all depending upon how you use it. I mean, seriously, obviously I'm limited due to a lack of a cockpit and a wheel, but on the flip side of that, I pretty much do all the competitive stuff. I really don't do the arcade stuff. I mean, obviously, to do the online on Gran Turismo, you have to do what they call cafe books. To unlock multiplayer and online racing, you've got to get past Cafe Book 9. So, but with that being said, if you're stumbling across this live stream and you're like, hey, that looks like fun, I want to do it. Yes, after book 9, you can go through and do the online stuff, but I would strongly encourage you to go ahead and do all of the mini books. The reason why is because, for me personally, I did 9 and then I started racing competitively. That was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake because I got better as I learned. With that being said, the current rankings for online drivers is you start as rated E. So you go E, D, C, B, A plus, and then S. A plus and S's are kind of where your professional YouTubers are, professional esports guys. I mean, the guys who get paid to play this. I am a solid C driver, and I have been C ranked 5 times because I'll go up, I'll go down, I'll go up, I'll go down, and then yeah, the game kind of forces you to get better. So as you're going up through the rankings, it gets really easy, but when you get downgraded, like I have multiple times, getting that ranking back is a little bit longer. You're noticing that status bar doesn't move quite as much as it used to. So, yeah, food for thought. So if you decide, again, if you just stumbled across this and one of my sons has this game, he's game sharing it with another one of my sons, non-biological son, but still a son nonetheless. So, yeah. I'm Mez. This is Mez Racing. And that is a Super Formula car that, yeah. Hopefully we'll finish in the top 5 tonight. So, Manufacturers Cup, Nations Cup. They have a series of like 5 races at night. It would be awesome if it was like an all-day thing, because then I could definitely make all the races I wanted to make. But unfortunately, they're on certain days at certain times, and usually because I work night shift, I'm at work when they start. Like tonight, August 26th, which is Friday, I will do my Manufacturers Cup at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will stream it. Why? I have no idea. Because after I do this live stream, I'm going to go through and send the links to my kids and say, hey, tell me what you think. Yeah, I'm not one of these guys that's like, subscribe or join. I don't do memberships. I don't do any of that. This is literally something that way. It's kind of like me sharing a hobby with the family. And if you aren't a family member and you stumbled upon this, welcome. If you want to hang out, great. If you don't, totally understandable. Because again, I'm not a professional at this. There are guys that can do this. Can you learn something from it? Yeah, you can learn what not to do. I think my best lap on this was a full race practice. 15 laps with a pit stop, the whole 9 yards. Because it's kind of the best way to practice. I mean, yeah, they've got the time trial and you can practice that way. But this particular race, you've got 2 different tire compounds that you have to use. Some races, they're optional. Other races are actually like, no, you have to make a pit stop, or whether you change tires or take fuel or not, you still have to go through the pit lane. Makes no sense, but hey, it's Gran Turismo. It's their game, their rules. This particular race, you have to use the racing medium tires and the racing soft tires. They actually make a difference. They do. And you would think that it was just, but no, I mean, it changes the grip, it changes your braking points, changes your turning points, changes everything. So if you get into this and you just go with the best tire and you lay down your lap and you qualify in a certain spot, and then when you go to the lesser efficient tire, you're going to be in for a very rude awakening. So I would actually highly recommend anybody that stumbles on this, take the lowest grade tire for required tires and do your time trialing with that, because then what that will do is that will allow you to, when you get the better tire on there, you'll go faster, you'll turn better, all of that. But again, there is an adjustment. So unlike race day, if you're in the Manufacturers Cup or the Nations Cup, on race day, treat it like a race. Just go into the pre-practice and yeah, do it up. Interesting color scheme, I know. It looked good when I was creating it. Actually looks kind of weird. It does. Red and purple. I mean, the purple's because of loved ones. I mean, they just... quite a few's favorite color is purple. So, and believe it or not, the reason why I put purple in my car is in homage to them. Oh, lordy, there is a big boo-boo coming up. I just can't remember where. Oh, trust me, I hurt the baby. I hurt the baby bad. So, yeah. It's just... But yeah, the one nice part about it is when they're doing this, you'll actually see the pit stop that has to be done. It's awesome. It is. So yeah, this is my live stream. Now you'll probably notice that when you type in Mez Racing, there were like some practice and some test ones. Oh, that hurt the baby. Yeah, that hurt. So if that hurt that bad, why did I keep going? Because in a race, you're going to do that. Don't drop out of a race. Even if you're dead last, just finish the race. Trust me. Dropping out of a race hurts your driver rating. Bad. Like I've seen people who were middle C's drop out of a race and get ranked as D. And then they like disappear for 3 weeks, and the next time you see them, it's kind of like, hey, what happened? I haven't seen you since that race. And then they're like, yeah, about that. Remember when I rage quit? Yeah, I got demoted. Oh, shit. And you will find yourself racing against some of the same people time and time and time again. Because again, it's not just you. I mean, right now, my time trial on this track for the Nations Cup, I'm in the top 2,500 in the world. So, I mean, there's quite a few people in this. Nation Cup ranking, I'm in the top 300. I think I'm ranked 254th, 264th. In the state of Florida, which is where I'm currently residing, I am in the top 20. That's just an old man with a controller. But with that being said, I mean, you have to be patient with yourself. It takes practice. It does. Because, yeah, they've got assists that you can use. traction control, stability control, stuff like that. And when you're first starting out, turn it on. But get to the point where you can wean yourself. Oh, look at that. That definitely hurt the baby. Look at the smoke pouring out of that car. Oh, just so you know, it takes 11 seconds when you damage your car. It takes 11 seconds for the car to repair itself. I know. It's got like nanobite technology. Anyway, but yeah, when you damage cars do self-heal. It just takes a little bit of time. And it will screw with your handling badly. Actually, I think that was the worst crash I had this series. But yeah, you can go through, and if you decide to get into this, then, I mean, obviously it's a PlayStation only game, just as Forza is Xbox only. The only cross-platform that I'm aware of is Assetto Corsa. iRacing, I believe, is PC only, or PC Xbox only. But I believe Assetto Corsa, who coincidentally enough, FIA is currently standing behind for their esports, is the only multi-platform, because you can get it for PC, Xbox, as well as PlayStation. I don't think you can get it for the Wii. Do they still make the Wii? I don't know. I haven't seen a Wii since the kids wanted one. Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of a... It's a neat little game. And it's like I said, I pretty much started this to just kind of share with the kids. And if they want to watch, great. If they don't want to watch, that's great too. The one nice part about it is at some point, thanks to the power of YouTube, they'll be able to go back and be like, hey, let me show you how much of a kid my dad is. Because, yeah, I typically will load this up at a minimum once a day. On my days off, I'm on this damn thing, like, a lot. Oh, that almost hurt the baby. Other days, like on my work days, I'm typically only on for a little bit. I'll put some laps on, and that's about it. And because, well, don't get me wrong, this is fun, and there are people who make money at it. I'm not one of those guys, so I have to have a real job. So I have a real job, and I do this when I can. But yeah. And then, let's see, I'll also stream the Manufacturers Cup race. So, and I'll pretty much be streaming until I get a top 5 finish. See, the last Nations Cup I went through and I kept holding out. I had an 8th place finish. And then I was kind of like, oh, I can do better. And then I actually did worse. When in all actuality, if I would have taken my 8th place finish, I would have finished up higher. Because in Gran Turismo, they use the final placement of your last race. Not your best placement in any race. It's your last race, that placement. So if you do a race and you finish 2nd, and then you do another race and you finish 13th, you get ranked with the 13th. Not the 2nd, which is kind of a gamble. But depending upon where you're at, it's a gamble worth taking. Because again, I was wanting that top 5, which means if my first Nations Cup race, I get a top 5, I'm done. I get a 6th, I'm gonna do another one because I want that top 5. Typically, your first race, though. Okay, so this race has got requirements. If those requirements are not met and you finish the race without meeting those requirements, you end up with a 1-minute penalty. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I've seen a 1-minute penalty take somebody from 1st place to 15th place. And the guy that was in 8th place got the win because he followed all the rules. So in that respect, it's kind of like, it's cool, And yeah, I know it sounds kind of dickish because you're like, oh God, I hope somebody makes a mistake. But yeah, I mean, you're seriously hoping that somebody makes a mistake. And typically your first race is when it is your highest degree of likelihood of somebody making a mistake. So you're like, yes, let's do this. So I'll do that with Manufacturers Cup and I'll do that with the Nations Cup. Oh yeah, that's where I really screwed up. Oh no, I was going in the pits. See, you could see your pit guys. Which is also another reason why you know this is virtual, because there's no way in hell I could afford to go to a racetrack in Belgium and close the thing down and say, I want to run it all by myself with only my pit crew. Boom! And I'm back up. I went for medium tire. I used the slower tire and went to the soft tires, which is the fastest tires. Your racing soft are your best tires. Downside to it is very rarely do you ever get racing soft tires in races. So I'm actually kind of enjoying this. But then again, it is a super Formula car or Formula One car or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's a good thing. And I would love to say that my times improved once I went to the soft tire, but I would be lying my ass off because I actually slowed down. Mainly because I haven't done enough practice on the soft tires. So I'm still unsure about my brake references and all of that. So good times, good times. But yeah. Now, will I get a wheel eventually? Yeah, eventually I'll get a wheel and I'll get a cockpit. I mean, because I actually do thoroughly enjoy this. I really and truly do. Mainly because, case in point, that's about a $750,000 race car in real life. Tyler Hamilton, I am not, so I'm not going to have anybody that's standing in line trying to give me one. But on the flip side of that, this way, I can still race it. And the funny part about it is if you go through and you stop and you think about it, I can't believe you're talking about a video game this way. When COVID was at its peak, how do you think Formula One raced? That's right. They went to racing simulators. These racing simulators. Which is why, like, you'll, on occasion, Gran Turismo will have the Tyler Hamilton challenge, because Tyler Hamilton actually went through and raced this. And he said if he was in a reactive cockpit, then it would have been like he was really driving his car. Just minus the $750,000 price tag if he went into the wall. So, oh, yeah, that hurt the baby. That hurt the baby bad. Yeah. Oh, look at all that smoke. When I break it good. So yeah, it was, yeah, that was, yeah. Downside to it is that wasn't even my worst crash of the day. I had one where I did like 8 360s on this corner because I touched that little rubber part right there. Yeah, that's a bastard. It's so bad, I swear to God it is. So yeah. Oh lordy. Good times, good times. So yeah, like I said, I'll be streaming tonight. Want to subscribe? Subscribe. Don't want to subscribe? Don't subscribe. It's cool either way. Seriously. Because irregardless, I'm still going to stream it. Yeah, oh, by the way, if you get this game and you decide you want to race competitive, don't let a Super Formula car go into first gear. Oh my god, you just sit there and spin. And that corner is the bane of my existence. And then tomorrow night for Manufacturers Cup, I'm signed with BMW, so Nations Cup, you can race whatever car you want that's in that category. This particular Super Formula car is the Honda Super Formula. Unfortunately, there's only two options, Honda and Toyota, but you get to choose. They also, oh yeah, that kissed the wall, like, actually that was more like French kissing the wall. Anyway, but like on Group 3 Nation Cup races or Group 4 Nation Cup races, you can pick any Group 3 car, any Group 4 car. Manufacturers Cup, you're limited to their Group 3, Group 4 cars. BMW has one Group 4 car, that's the BMW M4. And then for Group 3, they've got the Z4, they've got the BMW M6, in two different variations, the endurance model and the sprint model. Excuse me. The only difference between the sprint model and the endurance model, literally, is fog lamps. The endurance model's got fog lamps, the sprint model doesn't. But same motor, same transmission, same everything. And then they have a fourth Group 3 car, which is the old BMW M3 that they used for Group 3 racing with FIA. I race the Z4. The reason why I race the Z4 is because the BMW M6 is what I like to refer to as a schizophrenic child. Because everything will be fine and then that thing will get really twitchy. And it's rather annoying. So I race the Z4, which is what I'll be racing tomorrow night. But it's in a different color scheme, but it still has purple. So, yeah. Because there's a significance to the purple. Just like there's a significance to the Blackman heritage. And, well, I picked the coffee manufacturer because, well, I'm currently drinking coffee. And I drink a lot of coffee. Yeah. Oh, by the way, when you cut like that, that's a penalty. I think that was a 1 second penalty. So the way they do penalties here is there's a penalty line and it cuts your power for a predetermined amount of time, whether it be a half second all the way up to a 5 second. A 5 second penalty is when you ram somebody off the road. You ram somebody off the road, you're going to end up with anywhere between a 3 to 5 second penalty depending upon the severity of how bad you rammed them. A 5 second penalty at 55 miles an hour hurts. It hurts a lot. So that's the other thing about this simulator or this game is the fact that it rewards clean driving. So race clean, people. Don't be a dirty driver. Nobody likes a dirty driver. This must not have been the race practice where I did the 8 360s. Like seriously, I hit that rubber thing and it just spun me around. It was like, oh, so bad. And this damn chicane. That chicane and that turn 1. Oh my god. Everything else, pretty solid. That damn corner and that chicane, that final chicane before the start finish line. Hate them some bitches. So, but yeah, that's Mez Racing in a nutshell. So, not a money-making thing, not anything. It's just a hobby. But it's a hobby that cost me all of, well, actually it didn't cost me $70, but it could have cost me $70. But that was for the PS4 version. Yeah, I'm on a PS4. So yeah, not only am I using a controller, but I'm using a PS4 that was actually given to me as a Christmas present from my daughter-in-law. So, happy pandas. Thank you, kitten, for the PS4. Oh, there we go. There we go. That hurt the baby. But again, no matter what, just keep racing. And yeah, that was a long 11 seconds because I seriously screwed that car up in that. I mean, like, it hurt the motor, it hurt the front and rear axles. I couldn't get that car above 85 miles an hour after that. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that hurt. Yeah, and that just added insult to injury. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction of a grown-ass man talking about a video game. And yeah, I guess we'll just finish out the rest of this practice and call it good. I gotta do dishes and take trash out. Yeah. And then I'll get back and I'll do some more practice. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.